this wonderful day ended with some fireworks on Sunday Night Football. Kyle Juszczyk falls into the end zone with 30-ish seconds left. Thinking, all right, it's a long way to go, but they only need a field goal. And I've seen him do this kind of stuff over and over and over again. The first throw that Rodgers completes on that final drive to Davante Adams, when he let that ball go, truly bonkers.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, the trust to understand, all right, I know exactly how much I have to put on this to get it over Fred Warner. I know exactly the moment at which I have to let this thing go. He just drops it gently right over the top. Davante gets it. They spike the ball. One more completion, 50-yard field goal, go home. Packers are 2-1.
Like it was clockwork. Like
it's amazing.
The fact like we have like several of these to refer to now, like not only just like overall, but just like national games, like, you know, the Jared Cook one, like that was, you know, against the Cowboys, like the toe tap one. And it's just like that entire drive was like inevitable. Like after Juszczyk scored, it was really telling that the Packers defenders all looked up, not to go like, what the hell just happened? But they all looked up to see how much time they had left. And they were just like, oh, okay, we're good. I don't think they actually thought that, but I'm sure there's like a little inkling that they all had there. It was like, okay, we still have a chance.
I tweeted out the dragon gif for people. I've done this for a decade now.
Years.
I mean, it's been the longest running bit that I have. I told Bill Barnwell once when he was at his height, it was probably during the 2014 season when he won the MVP and when they were just really rolling and we were doing the Ground NFL show. I said, he's not a quarterback. He's a fire-breathing dragon. And he is. You know, obviously there have been those down years. There were a couple of them, and this wasn't his greatest game, but I've just seen him do this so many times, and there's just nothing that can surprise me anymore. Somebody responded when I tweeted out the GIF and was like, you're a Bears fan that worships at the altar of Aaron Rodgers. And it's like, if you don't, I don't understand you.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember I've told the story a couple times on the podcast over the last couple months, but I was talking to Nate Hackett, who's their offensive coordinator, and we were having a discussion about like broader kind of trends in the league. And he was heavily quoted in the story I wrote about the Fangio-Staley defense and what offense were doing against it. And I said something about Aaron being Staley told me that he was the best quick game thrower in NFL history. And Nate Hackett stopped me and he goes, he's the best quarterback in NFL history. And it's not just me that worship at the altar of this guy. It's people who have been in the league for a very, very long time see him as something special and something different. And these are the moments where he reminds you that that's the case. And
these are just the ones we see because sometimes the plays that happen in practice that you'd never, it was like a 55, he was like he was passed behind midfield, threw it all the way across back corner, like one of the craziest throws I've ever seen in my life, and it was from practice. Like that's like the Randy Moss stories. Like I've seen him like high point a ball and ended up on a guy's shoulders, like stuff like that. Like, you know, like just those type of stories. It almost sounds like Paul Bunyan tales that these guys have, but that's the level that Rodgers is at right now. It's like there's just countless of these, and even some of these throws that he makes are almost becoming like repeatable. Like he almost like, you know, just the benders over the linebackers, and just these throws are not just the one-offs that you go, wow, that was one of the greatest throws I've seen. It's like he's doing it now like once a season, like once every 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and it's just ridiculous.
Where are you at on the Packers and the Niners after tonight? I mean, I don't think that there's anything super illuminating. I think that the Niners are going to be a feisty team. I think their offense is still kind of weird. I mean, Jimmy has made some. What Jimmy does within that offense, I think you understand why they want him to be the quarterback still, right? Like he can deliver the ball over the middle of the field. He's still got a pretty quick trigger. The way that they operate, just that yak world. I mean, that big Kittle completion is a perfect example, right? He's going to be able to do some of that kind of stuff, but I still just, I don't know. I still feel like what they want to be on offense and their ceiling, all of those things are still questions to me, even after watching that game and them almost winning that game.
You know how like last year we saw what the ceiling was of a Rams offense when they had to rely on Goff, where you're like, okay, this is it. This is how much we can get out of him. That's kind of how it feels with Jimmy, especially last week watching the Eagles game back, which I watched every play as it was going, but then watching it back on film it was just, everything's just hard with him. And this is always the story with it, is that they can get the guys open and he's going to deliver it. And like, if it's on time and everything's good, he's going to stand, deliver those throws. But it's like, it's very telling. He only had 2 throws past 20 yards today. And one of them was the pick that after Alexander just made the great play on. And like it's telling that they never really went back to the deep ball. It's like, all right, we took that away. You're done. All right, we took that toy away from you, Jimmy. I'm sorry. And it just kind of
people are making an argument that their offense has been super efficient over the first couple weeks. Even while doing that, it's like that shouldn't be the argument. Yeah. Just because they're efficient, it doesn't mean that he's creating or helping build that efficiency. Like the Rams were efficient, to your point, for years with Jared Goff as the quarterback. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should be trying to make it more difficult on yourself. There's a chance that Lance is not ready, but there's also a reason that they wanted to make that move in the first place. And I think that even if this timeline is okay, they're 150-yard field goal and 2 miracle throws away from being 3-0, you still understand that there is a ways for this offense to go. There is that final tier, that final step, and we're seeing what it looks like before that step is taken.
Which I guess is exciting if you're a 49ers fan. It's
like,
wow, I mean, that's pretty. It's like, oh, this is pretty. It's not like it's doldrums, and you're just like, wow, I can't picture this. We're going to talk about the Steelers offense going like, well, I don't know what the path is. We're maxed out. It's like, well, this is not bad, and we still have a lot more room to grow if number 5 is actually what we think he is. And
they're hanging around with no corners against the Packers. Yes. Like I think this team is definitely going to be there and be a team that's going to be fighting for a playoff spot in the NFC.
Lenore is the rookie corner, number 38. He is a solid player, man.
Which is a very good thing because they needed to find one of those guys in the draft, and he has been good over the first couple weeks.
5th round corner, rookie. It's playing like he's playing. He's very heady. You can tell he's sharp and he's got good size, long speed. But I mean, he's useful already, and that's a 5th round corner. Good on them.
Well, I mean, they have him, and then K'Wan Williams gets dinged up. Josh Norman gets dinged up. It's like spinal tap drummers at this point. It's absolutely ridiculous.